Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of O Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, CW, and we're getting our legs underneath us with this new podcast format. I'm so used to rambling on for like 25, 35 minutes in my other shows. I'm trying to keep it condensed, trying to get you guys in and out and give you a wrestling buddy you can chat with, right? That's the only reason this show exists. I wanted a show that talked about the kind of things that I think about in wrestling, which is all the creative aspects and fun stuff. And we're not going to argue. We're just going to have a good old time and talk about wrestling. So today's topic is what makes a fantastic tag team. Now, it's a pretty big topic to cover in less than 9 minutes, but we will do it because we're buddies. We're friends. We're wrestle buddies. Let's get to it. So I was listening to Wrestling with Freddie, a.k.a. Wrestling with Friends, on the My Cultura and iHeartRadio podcasting network. It's an ad for a show that doesn't need an ad. It stars Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jeff Dye. They basically recap Raw and SmackDown and AEW from the perspective of a comedian and an actor. Freddie Prinze is a former writer for WWE, and he's also Fred in Scooby-Doo. Yeah, in the old Scooby-Doo films. Anyway, they were talking about the Viking Raiders and Hit Row, and Jeff Dye made a great point that I wanted to bring up in this show. It's not my original thought, but I am giving him credit. He said he thinks what makes a great tag team are tag team moves, and I could not agree more. I think the thing missing from a lot of tag teams this day is synergy. There are, of course, a few tag teams that have great synergy. The Usos obviously are brothers, and they have, signature moves together. I believe they just inherited the 3D that they call the 1D, which is great branding. Day 1, 1D, first day, whatever you want to call it. It's a great co-op of that old move, and the Dudley Boys signed off on it. Fantastic. The New Day, I believe, has a tag team move where it's like a round robin where they tag in, they stomp the person 10 times, then the next person tags in, then they stomp the person, and it's like they go in a circle just stomping this person out. It's a great move, and it promotes synergy. When a tag team has a move set that complements each other and then also have moves where they execute it together, they feel more like a cohesive team, like they've worked this out, they're working this stuff together. So teams like Dakota Kai and Io Sky need, if they're going to remain a tag team, and they are tag team champs, so they kind of have to get this going. They need moves that they do together that feel like they've practiced it, right? Not in like, let's rehearse this move, but as in like, we're a team, and if we get in a situation where we can perform a double team move, we have to make it a thing. It has to be a signature move. Another great tag team that I have loved for years is the World's Greatest Tag Team. If you haven't heard of the World's Greatest Tag Team, it was Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. They had one of the greatest intro songs of all time. They were the cronies for Kurt Angle back in the day. He brought them in, and they were basically the original Alpha Academy. They didn't talk much. They didn't cut a ton of promos, but they executed crazy moves together. They had like springboard moves where Charlie Haas would hold someone's legs and their arms would be draped across the rope, so they were suspended in air. And then Shelton Benjamin would jump over Charlie Haas and land on the person's back. And it's simple things like that where they would do it maybe every match that endear you to the team. You see that move coming, and you know that they're going to perform this tag team move together. So back in the 90s and early 2000s, tag teams generally had a lot of, I don't know if it would call it signature moves, but they definitely had tag team moves. They had a tag team move set that they would go into a match and they would try to execute a double team move, which was more devastating than, simple a tag in and a kick and a punch or whatnot. They would, toss you across the rope and then either do like the Dudley Boys do the 3D, or Edge and Christian had their concerto. I'm sure they also had, actual just wrestling moves together, but I remember the concerto very well. I'm trying to think of other. Oh, Matt and Jeff Hardy. They had the springboard where Matt would get on all fours and Jeff would jump over him and then dive into his into the opponent in the corner. Moves like that, just simple things like that. The Acolytes had tag team moves. They were more just kind of overly physical at the same time. Like they would both jump in the ring and kind of decimate everyone together. Acolytes, another great tag team, the APA. But again, yes, what makes a great tag team is if they have synergy, and that is made not only with like similar ring gear, which like New Day has taken to its own level. Like I don't think you can beat New Day when it comes to like tag team gear. Austin Creed is a brilliant mind for his style of wrestling, and that is like making gear and making, interesting callbacks to pop culture and anime and all the stuff that he loves, and dressing his teammates as such. Like they've dressed up like the Green Lantern, the Green Ranger, and they've dressed up like Dragon Ball, and they've had their own custom like unicorn stuff and cereal. Like all their branding is great, and that built the New Day into the powerhouse that it is. They were consistent, they were positive, and they built, movesets together. I don't know if they have any other tag team moves. I don't remember a whole lot of their matches, but I do just recently remember watching them do that round robin, which was great. So yes, what makes a great tag team is the synergy between the partners, whether it be a trio or a duo. There needs to be cohesion. They need to build a moveset together that will give fans something to look forward to. I think Dudley Boys are the best example with the 3D, the get the tables, the what's up. They did tag team moves. They were a tag team. They didn't just look the same with their ring gear. They had call outs to the fans to get them involved. Fans would show up to these events waiting for the Dudley Boys to do their moves together. I don't recall either one of them other than Bubba's Bubba Bomb. I don't remember what Devon. I mean, he had the headbutt, but their single moves were a pale comparison to their tag team moves. Nothing beats the 3D. Nothing beats the get the table. Nothing beats the look on Bubba's face when he'd put people through the table. That's what makes a great, amazing tag team. What do you think makes a successful tag team? How would you classify a successful tag team? And what's your favorite tag team? I want to know all these things. Head over to owrestling.com and let me know in the comments. I'll be reading them. I want to see what you guys think. Hopefully you're enjoying this short Wrestling Thoughts show here on O Wrestling. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. We are on YouTube and on Instagram. Instagram, it's o.wrestling. And you can subscribe to the podcast on any podcasting platform that you can think of. I'm pretty sure if you were to ask your, Alexa, I didn't want to trigger mine, or Siri or Bixby or any of these weird AI programs to play the O Wrestling podcast, they can do that as well. And of course, like and subscribe on YouTube. You can follow us there. I would appreciate it. Maybe we'll start doing some old pro wrestling game streams or something. You guys let me know how you want to expand this show. But for now, I will be recording 10 minutes. I'll try and do it every morning, if not every other morning, and give you guys some fresh wrestling takes every morning. Maybe we'll do a Raw report. We'll do an after Raw breakdown or an after SmackDown breakdown, or maybe some pay-per-view shows. I don't know. The sky is the limit, and I love wrestling. So thank you again for listening. I appreciate your time. And always remember, I'm your friend.
I'm your friend, but if I ever see you in the ring, I can beat you. Don't you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah.